August 6, 2024. If you'll join me in prayer and pledge. Heavenly Father, as we come to you today, we just thank you for your blessings, your mercy, and your grace, Father. We ask that you would guide us, Father, in decisions we make tonight for the citizens that we each represent, Father. We ask you to be with all of our employees, Father. Watch over and protect them, protect our city, our county, our state, and our country, Father. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everybody tonight. We've got a pretty good attendance here tonight, and I just welcome everybody here. It's good to see the place full. I'm going to do a roll call. Patrick? Here. Pete? Here. Donald? Donald is on the phone tonight. Even though he is out of the country, he is representing his constituents. So, Mikey?
Here.
Angie is out of the state.
Angie is on the phone.
Excuse me. Angie is on the phone. Angie is here. I can hear her on the speaker. And now Bernie, he's on the phone. Bernie, you here? Okay. I'm hearing a little delay with all the phones we have tonight, so I may miss some of them when I call for votes. If I miss y'all that are on the phone, we'll just move ahead because we do have enough here with one of you to have a quorum. So with the three of you on the phone, we'll need at least one response. And the meeting is a legal meeting. And Counselor, I'm correct when I assume all that? Counselor?
Yes, yes, sir.
With us, the three and the three on the phones, we are having a legal meeting.
We do.
Okay, I want that confirmation. All right. Moving forward, we have no public hearings, public comments and announcements. I have one pretty big one I want to announce. We've got some young ladies here tonight that represented our city, our sports, and they've achieved quite a bit, and I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of the coaches and the time that they put in with them. I'm proud of the parents for their support. Without the parents' support and the drive and the desire to instill in these young ladies what it takes to be as a team and to be a team player and commit yourself, they wouldn't be sitting here before us now. And they've got quite an achievement. I'm going to come down and I'm going to get the mic off the stand. When you come up, young ladies, I'm going to ask you to tell me your name. And I want you to speak loud and clear because I can't hear well. And I can't turn my hearing aids up loud enough to be able to hear y'all. So make your parents proud, make your coaches proud, and let us be proud too of you. So I'm going to call you up, and at the end, I'm going to give you coach. You each have an in recognition here that we want to present to each one. We'll give these to coaches so that coach can hand them out. So if y'all, when I get down here, if y'all come and just line up, and the coaches, if y'all be at the last there, please, and do the same thing. So just go ahead and line up, come up in single file, and we'll take our time and go through this. I want each of y'all to notice that these girls are holding trophies, and it's not just one or two, but there's several trophies that they're holding. Let me read this. Let me read you what these young ladies have accomplished, and it looks good. I think the girls' softball coach at the high school is probably licking her lips at what y'all have done and in recognition, and just can't wait till y'all to get up to that level. These girls, they placed second in their first tournament. That didn't slow them down. They kept working hard. They kept practicing as a team. And this was over at Bayview. Then they went on to first place in every tournament thereafter. Shows the dedication. They captured the district title, the South State title, and lastly, the state championship. So, girls, for the Board of Aldermen, myself, for the citizens, for those at home watching, congratulations to each one of you. So I'm going to bring you up. Must be the all-star. Come on up and give me your name, and then stand over here.
My name is Anna Powell.
Okay.
My name is Reagan League.
Wait a minute, Reagan. Mr. T hadn't got nothing on him. All right.
My name is Presley Huff.
Okay.
My name is Dalen Laughlin.
Dalen, turn around so they can see you.
My name is Ariana Naquin.
My name is Sophie Skinner.
Sophie. I remember Sophie when you was a baby girl.
My name is Kendall Cooper.
Kendall Cooper, okay.
My name is Risa Gross.
And Risa is a special young lady to me too. So I know her dad. He happens to be one of our detectives at the police department.
My name is Mia Heighton.
Mia.
My name is Aubrey Leger.
My name is Ava League.
My name is Caroline Worthington.
And this happens to be Miss Gross.
Jessica.
Jessica, another one I'm very proud of.
And my name is Jordan Tillman.
And Jordan Tillman, I'm very proud of you too, hon. Ladies, young ladies, coaches, on behalf of the board and myself, I want to say congratulations. Thank y'all for representing us so well, and continued success, not only in your softball careers, but also your school life and whatever your future may bring. So congratulations to each one of y'all.
Is that the front of that trophy, or is it supposed to, we turn it? There you go.
Unless they want me to stay out.
And hold your rings up. There you go. Yeah, ready, 1, 2, 3.
All right, here we go. Need me in stereo. 1, 2, 3.
One more. Don't move. Wings out.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Hey, I got it here. It's always a pleasure of mine to be able to recognize the youth of our city, of our schools, and the accomplishments that they have. It's a great thing, and I think this speaks highly of our city, our citizens, and our parents. So thank y'all. All right, next we have amendments to the municipal docket. We have 2. Keeney, if you'll read those off for us.
Sure. We need to add a contract termination with Neil Schaefer for the railroad crossing project as item 13 under new business. And we also need to add a budget amendment for a fire department truck purchase under departmental city clerk's office.
All right, I need a motion, a second. Get a second to add those? All right, we have a second. All those, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Did we get another one?
Or Donald.
Okay, all right, we do have our fourth aye. Motion carries. And Keeney, will you remind me when we get down to 13, 14? Thank you. All right, approved minutes, the mayor and board of aldermen's July 16th, 2024 regular meeting and July 23rd, 2024 work session. Motion to second approval.
Motion.
Is that a second?
Second.
All right, I got 2 seconds. I heard Angie yell out. Do we have discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, we've got 4. Motion carries. Next, we have a Planning and Development Commission, July 25th, 2024 regular meeting. Motion second, discussion and approval.
Motion. With discussion, second with discussion.
Discussion, good deal.
So on new business under there's number 4, certification of re-subdivision. I'm sorry, it's going to be number 6. And it's Mr. Sean Montella on Gerard Avenue. The reason it was tabled in their minutes was nobody was there, but we do have a letter from our engineering saying that everything looks good, and I would like to make a motion that we pull that and approve it on its own.
Okay, so we got a substitute motion to pull item 6 and deal with it separately from the others. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, do we have any discussion? Hear none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now I'll take a motion to second, discuss number 6 for approval.
Motion.
Got a second?
Second.
All right, discussion. As y'all will remember, we recently removed this from the Planning and Development Commission minutes to deal with. So do I seek any discussion on this, or just go move straight for approval? All right, here no discussion. All those in favor of approving this, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I have one more thing to discuss under this, is that in looking at adding on the subdivision of properties, that we are making sure that we're making cuts in the road, that we're meeting our new standards, that we're going to have the cutbacks, and then we're going to have the milling back to the proper length, that when we make these patches, they are the right patches. And I checked with Mike over at Public Works today, and he double-checked and assured me that that was the case. The costs involved are the actual costs, so we could go ahead and, we're moving forward with these. So, all right. Next, we have approved docket of claims number 080624. Motion is second for discussion and approval.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Angie. Motion carries. Next, we have unfinished business. We have the shooter ready, and we're looking for an update. Counselor, I know that the last time we had left you, we were looking, and I know that that we had, from Sarah, we had received some other ordinance from other cities, but I know we're in a little bit different situation. Can you explain to us, just give an update, and to know that we're still working towards this, but it's not something we could remedy overnight. So, Counselor, if you would.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. We've had a number of discussions about this. I've talked with the Planning Commission, Attorney Bill Hessel, a number of times. I know Mr. Gunlock has talked to him about it as well. Mike and I have met on a couple occasions. I've met with the proponents of the project, requested and was provided by them some information of what other cities have done with respect to zoning of these type of, I'm going to refer to them as shooting houses, and have reviewed those. As we've discussed in the past, as you know, this particular location on Klondike Road is indeed zoned commercial, general commercial business on either side of Klondike Road, but it is entirely residential directly behind both strips that abut Klondike Road. Indeed, one of the concerns, and as you know, before I go into that, there are also, which we've discussed in the past, our zoning ordinances do not address either outdoor shooting ranges or indoor shooting houses. We don't have any regulatory language in our code of ordinances governing that. In addition to that, there is nothing in our chart of uses that permits such an activity. What we do have is an ordinance that prohibits the discharge of firearms within the city unless it's by a police officer, a certified police officer in the course and scope of his duties, or by a citizen in defense of his life, of course. So given that, we went about the task of trying to decide, because the board, was then and still favorably looks upon this project here on Klondike Road. One of the problems with respect to the zoning and the particular placement of this, Gulfport, I looked to our sister cities. Gulfport indeed has an ordinance governing this, but they have limited it to their industrial zones. They've had a couple of applications that were approved at planning and have met opposition from various cities and groups. One of them was off of Creosote Road. One of them was in the Turkey Creek, which is highly residential area, but was properly zoned apparently. But the problem that Mr. Hessel, Mike, myself have all struggled with is the particular location for this proposal is about 70 feet from a residence to the, I guess, to the east of the building. It's about 360 some odd feet from a church, which is also southeast, about 200 feet from the Keesler Federal Building, and about 70 feet from the Masonic Lodge on the other side. It's just dropped in the middle of what is indeed a commercial business zone, but is surrounded by some businesses and some residential areas to the east of it. And in addition to that, we don't have a particular ordinance or permitted use in our regulatory scheme that governs an indoor shooting house or an outdoor range, which the outdoor range is not the issue here. So we have Mr. Hessel, Mr. Gunlock, and myself have continued to try to find a way whether an amendment to the city ordinance was the best avenue to accommodate this proposal, whether a special use permit or some other avenue that the board could travel on, which was the least likely to end them up in appeal in circuit court, which is what happened in Gulfport in both of those cases I mentioned. Still even today, looking at the cases and the other leases or ordinance rather that were provided to me, one in particular I'm working off memory, but I think was El Paso, Texas, which was very different set of circumstances what we face in Long Beach, Mississippi. But even today, I have not found the best and most legal way to put this particular project in an area. If we were out on 28th Street or out on the industrial park, I think it would be an easy amendment to our zoning ordinance. This particular place, this particular location with the surrounding structures makes it very difficult to find a way to amend either our permitted uses chart and our ordinance with respect to creating a use for an indoor shooting house. It's a long answer, Mayor, to say I have not found a solution to what we are all trying to accomplish as of this point, but that we are still, Mr. Hessel and myself and Mr. Gunlock are still trying to divine the best way to accommodate the applicants. We think it's a good project. We know that the project, the business they have now is successful and a good service for the citizens in Long Beach. We want to accommodate them. We just need to do it in a way that's legal that will withstand a challenge by some of the residential neighbors, which is more than likely to come once this board ultimately approves it.
Okay.
I know it has taken longer than it should, but it's a challenging zoning issue.
Okay. Pete, you got a question?
Yeah, it was just a matter of timing and coincidence. I didn't realize that Shooter Ready update was actually on the docket for this week, and just out of happenstance, I happened to reach out to Sarah and Jeanette the day prior, simply because I wanted to know basically what you just discussed. And yes, I'll go on record to say I also would like to help these two ladies out and accommodate them. However, I do fully understand the resistance that we might encounter with neighbors who are 70 feet away. So just wanted to make that a point. And Sarah and Jeanette asked me to relay to y'all that they both had prior commitments, and that's why you don't see them in the audience tonight, so.
Well, I made some requests of them to provide me what other cities and other places have done with respect to this manufacturer of this indoor facility that they want to establish in Long Beach. They've accommodated me. They've done everything we've asked them to do. We're just trying to figure out how to make it work in Long Beach, Mississippi. We're not El Paso, Texas, for sure.
Right, yeah. All right, anybody else have any thoughts, comments? I'd like to echo, I'd love to see this be able to be there, but when we place it there, it's got to be right. We can't do it against the wishes of the citizens around there if they would object to it. Right at this moment, we don't know, haven't received any, we hadn't had any public hearings, we don't know any of that. So there may come a point where that does occur. But as it stands now, I would love to be able to go and utilize my pistols and shoot in there, so.
Is there a way, I don't know if we were to schedule, I guess we wouldn't know what to schedule a public hearing for, but before we went any further, would it be prudent to schedule one just to see what the resistance is going to be?
We could send out letters to all those in a certain perimeter around the location of this, if that's the mind of the board.
Yeah. I mean, that might save us from going one way or the other. So just to go ahead, and I'm losing my voice, so I'm trying to be
Yeah, we could hear that. Well, I'll tell you what, Angie
Angie
said
has
yes,
some-
and I would do this at this time, hearing this discussion and the thoughts. I would ask for a motion and a second to give me permission to direct the staff to send out a letter through the building office to those surrounding homeowners and other businesses to get a point back from them, if that's all right.
Motion.
I got a motion, we
Second.
got a second from losing his voice down there.
Can we get some guidelines as to how many feet away?
I think there's probably some standards that you've got, Mike, and you correct me if I'm wrong, for any others that Counselor, you may have from those who do permit it that have a distance. Of course, they're not in a residential, and we may have to look and
Variances, I think, are 160 feet.
yeah,
Standard.
and I think we should go out, further than that.
Maybe 200.
Maybe 300. I mean, I would recommend 300 foot around them, just so we get it, because a bullet's going to travel, but these are self-contained, no bullets escape, but still, I think we need to get everyone around there an opportunity to speak to this. I want all the citizens to be involved that we can get within that certain area. So 300, all right with y'all?
Yeah.
Okay. Any more discussion on this? Motion and second?
I'll just add one final thing, Georgia. We obviously, by the action that we're taking right now, we're trying to make every effort we can, especially with the attorney, to accommodate them. But if we can't, we can't. I mean, we'll see where it
Yeah.
lands.
Is your mic on?
Yep.
Okay, I just couldn't hear you.
Kenny told me not to do
Hearing
that.
aids going out on your
Losing his
side.
voice.
And Mayor, if I may, the letter would probably benefit the local residents, affected residents, if we also gave a sufficient description of what they're proposing.
Right.
With respect to the safety features of
Right.
it and the sound features of it, because that's going to be I
Right, that's-
suspect is going to be their concern. So if we can
Major.
give them that information up front, we can
Yeah, I mean, we
can
could,
have a better educated response.
we could include all of the descriptions of the unit itself
Get with them and help
within a
provide that
letter
information.
and allow them to read what we're reading and
Well,
understand what we're
Just a
understanding.
suggestion, Georgia, we could get with Sarah and Jeanette and actually come up with a link to a video that they could tune into. They could actually watch it live in action.
I would be more than glad for us to add that to that letter, that they could reach at this page and watch a demonstration of it. Anything we can give them to have a clearer and better understanding, I'm all for. And if they still have objections, then we've got problems that we've got to deal with. And, I'd love to see this succeed, but we do have residents that's nearby. So, we got to do with that. So we got a motion second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Angie. Now we up for a War Memorial Park update. Now, let me say this. We've been working on this with David and Joe and Mike, and we've got a sheet that Courtney has been working for us on, and working with Bob. We've talked about recreational needs, And within this letter, y'all should have all got it here, park improvements and prices. We've broken this down. Courtney, I say we, Courtney has done this for us. And, and working along with Bob and the prices he has gotten, has put all this together, and where we could present this. We're looking at playground equipment from Boss Playground Boss, a merry-go-round, a 5-arch swing frame, and belted seat bundle. Be 4 belted seats, 8 chains, 16 shackles, and 4 shackle keys. And then safety surfacing, wooden picnic tables, the fencing, a 2-unit bathroom, and a pavilion. This is all at War Memorial Park for a cost of $103,167. Am I correct? Okay. You were looking at me like I was, okay, thank you. And then we had South Forest Park. Again, Playground Boss, $13,145, merry-go-round for $26.43, 5-arch swing frames for $3,801, belted seat bundle for $765, 5 belt seats, 10 chains, 20 shackles, and 5 shackle keys, bucket seat bundle for $307. It'd be 1 buckle seat, 2 chains, 4 shackles, and the shackle key, 2 seat seesaws, 12-inch plastic landscape timber with stakes, be 56 inches, I guess, in there, $2,296. The shipping of $29.68, and the surface safety surfacing of $4,200 for a total of $1,345. And then at Harper McGon Downtown Green, this is one that we really need to, all of them we could do and should do, is the control panel. This remove the existing light control panel, install a new Wattstopper LMCP series lightning control panel, remove and replace existing override switches with new override switches, remove and replace the existing photocell with new photocells, and this is a total of $11,650. And then at the dog park, through Walker Rental, we have a cost of $5,214.13. This is for 6x6 by 12-inch post, 35 bags of 80-pound Quickcrete, 138 SSI bolts, 138 SSS hooks, 800 foot of white plastic chain, and postal work per week rental. And this is a total of $5,213. This is to put a barricade along the edge of the dog park where we can remove our barricades and put them back into service with Public Works, and it will keep people from pulling up into the area. We're trying to protect that area to keep people from pulling in too close and doing damage to the fencing of the dog park, to protect the dog park in and of itself. So next we have Magnolia Park. This one, we're going to have to look at. The property's under is for sale. We add this stuff to it. We need to make sure that we can recover it if we put it there to put it at another site. Playground Boss of $3,962, merry-go-round of $2,643, shipping of $1,669, and the safety surface is $2,100 for a total of $6,062. In total of all these improvements are $143,438.13. And then if we purchase all these, we get a discount of $2,550. And then on the last page, you will see pickleball tennis courts. The pickleball tennis court facility will be $450,000. It'll be net post concrete foundation with PVC sleeves, 4-inch post-tension concrete pad with post-tension cable system, dimensions of 204 by 120, surface coating and striping for 4 tennis courts and 4 pickleball courts, black vinyl coated fence system on the perimeter, 10 foot high, and dividing the courts 4 foot high, a 9 foot high black windscreen on the 10 foot fencing. The tennis will have 2 7/8 inch net post, nets, center anchors, and center straps, courtside benches, roll dries. I'm not sure what that is, Bob. Can you, Courtney, any idea? Well, roll dries, maybe that's for drying the courts after we've had some rain to get the water off. Tiffy Court valet trash cans, A large ditch modification would be $8,000. 8 parking spots will be $3,000, and the sidewalks would be $4,000 for a total cost of $465,000. That would put us all with the park improvements in tennis court of $605, $883.13. This funding we have sought and received from the state. We had our state representative, Richard Bennett, work on this for us year previous, and State Senator Mike Thompson. We have the funding to move forward with this. If we want to approve and let Bob go ahead and start ordering and I would ask for a motion to approve ordering the park equipment at this time, and I would like to have on the next board agenda the pickleball tennis courts, because I want everybody to be here so we can have a fair and equal discussion of this. We could do it tonight if that's the mind of the board. I'm all right with moving forward with approval of all of it, but I'd really like to take the park improvement separately so we can allow Bob to go ahead and start ordering tomorrow and get this into work so we can move forward. This is something that will improve all of our parks, allow our families with children to be able to go and enjoy the pleasures of these. The War Memorial Park, you got to remember now, we're putting up the bathroom, 2-unit bathroom facility and a pavilion over there, and fencing around the playground equipment and the new pavilion and the bathrooms. We'll leave the southern end of it will be open where you can get out there and do frisbees. Hope we're going to be able to put up a couple, 3 or 4 of the frisbee baskets so you could have a little frisbee game going on there with frisbee golfing, I think is what it's called. Just to begin with. So I'd entertain a motion in a second to approve the park improvements.
Discussion. So with the stuff, I'm just looking at the prices. Is it? I'm just saying from school equipment, this looks like, I don't know if we ordered, it looks, the price is low on some of this stuff. Is it like, is this stuff that's going to hold up?
Commercial equipment. We had 2 bids. And we took the lower of the 2 bids, but they were very close together.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff you're talking about you're talking about the playground equipment, the stuff you climb on.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff we're replacing is either a swing set, we're gonna add merry-go-rounds to small spinners. So the equipment we're replacing is relatively inexpensive compared to what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I was just thinking maybe
Stuff you're talking
we're shopping
about
in the wrong
100,000,
spot.
yeah.
Additional discussion, this board, the last 2 meetings, when we were discussing the improvements, along with South Forest, et cetera, we talked extensively about sensory equipment and equipment for special needs children, and I see none of that on here.
We have a special needs park at War Memorial. The south end of it has a wheelchair accessible and swings for special needs children.
We was talking about adding some more, though.
We can do it if you'd like.
Touch and feel,
Angie, go ahead.
like the touch and feel, more stuff that are just able to stand up and do grab and hold and stuff.
Personally, it's important to me that we add that while we're spending money for special needs
Yes.
kids.
Could we
all-
go ahead and move forward with what we have and then come back? Because we have some money that's going to be left over. So can we move forward with, and I know I sound awful, but move forward with this and then add that on the back end?
Yeah, I agree with you, Patrick. And that's one of the things I want to mention. We've got, like I said, we got $750,000. We spending $605,000. So we've got $145,000 to add those in, and we could possibly add with that money and that inclusion to several of the parks and not just there.
I'm good with that.
Which is great. I mean, we started off with what was $50,000 to add that what we got, and we got a substantial amount over there at War Memorial Park. And I would not, I would love to see every park have this inclusion part in it, because, every child deserves to be able to go to that local park and be involved in playing on that equipment. So,
I've got one other thing too, Mayor. I know when myself and you and Courtney was over there, we had talked about, we've got a lot of tree trimming to do over there, and we've got some large pine trees we need to remove.
Over at
War Memorial.
Well, yes.
And that's not on here, so I know we have money to do it, but I'd like to maybe get.
I met with a contractor this afternoon. not only about War Memorial Park, but also Jeff Davis and the side streets. They said it'd be about 2 weeks before they get me a quote, but we'll have a quote for that.
Okay, I just don't want us to get the new equipment in and put it in and then come back and trim everything. I'd like to get it on the front end, and
It's gonna
rightfully
take
so.
probably a couple of weeks for this equipment to come in.
Okay.
And then to get it installed, it'll be,
I'm good with the rest of them.
We appreciate it.
Thought you was gonna talk about when we were little and I had to lift you up to the chin-up bar.
So,
I'll make the motion to approve
second,
the park equipment.
Park equipment, okay, we've got a motion to approve the park equipment with a motion to second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Angie's got an aye from us, heard hers, so.
Aye from
And Donald's aye, so, motion carries. And do we want to table the other part till next meeting?
Yes, I'd make a motion, we table the pickleball and tennis courts to the next meeting.
Okay.
Second.
We got a motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
I have a question.
I got 5, motion carries.
I have a question. So with the pavilion and the bathroom, are we moving forward with that or only the playground equipment?
Say that again, huh?
Are we moving forward with the pavilion and the bathroom or just the playground equipment?
I'm understanding, we approved what I considered.
I'll amend the motion to add, if you
Add the
the-
Include everything at War
bathroom?
Memorial Park with fence?
everything at War Memorial Park.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
we've got an amended motion to that previous motion. We have a second? This motion and second is to include the 2-unit bathroom, the fencing, and the pavilion. Okay.
Second.
I got 2 seconds and a third. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Angie. And I apologize, I should have made that clear when I was making the motion statement. All right, next we have under new business, we've got a special events application, City of Long Beach's 119th birthday. This is in conjunction with Courtney and Miss Carol Paola putting this together. It's going to be at the Quarles House and Grounds. And I think it's a great thing. I got a chance yesterday to be at WLX at 4 o'clock news and talk about this, and I misspoke. We're not going to have the sack races. So in case anybody got in sacks and wants to come down and race, bring them. We'll get somebody to coordinate it. But this is a good thing. It'll be this coming Saturday. This actually is the same as the date and day that the city of Long Beach was incorporated 119 years ago. It's a good thing. I encourage all the aldermen that are here and in town to come by and be there. The Quarles House will be open for tours and to walk through and look and observe. Miss Carol Paola will be there with her students from her discovery class, and she will have them down putting on a play. Now listen, they hadn't had a chance to practice a lot since school just started, but they may have cards there to read off of, but I promise you, you'll gain a lot of history. If it wasn't for Miss Paola and her drive, I would say 30 years ago or better, to get this home and bring the attention to it, we wouldn't have this home recovered because she helped write the grant to get it through the state, or did the grant. I can't say help wrote it, she did it, to help get the funding to us and to do this. So this is a good event. It's good for us to get out and celebrate this with our city, our communities. So I'd entertain a motion and second to approve this.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank y'all. All right, next we have Railroad Crossing Improvement Project for Moran Hauling. We've got a letter here that Moran Hauling has been recommended to us by the engineering consultant of Richie Ashley of Neil Schaefer. I know, David, you're here, but I don't see Richie, but it's all here, a total of $25,047.50. I'll get it out, y'all. $3,025,047.50. So I need a motion and a second to award this.
Motion.
Second.
You got it. It's discussion.
So in our letter, it says that potential irregular bid prices were identified on the bid tabulation. Now, I do see where it says it didn't change the rankings, but is both bidders have irregularities in there? Is this something that we might be able to save some money?
All I could say is that the engineers recommended it. It was a transposal of numbers as I understand. David, you might want to address this from Neil Schaefer's point of view, because we're taking your engineering firm's recommendation on what we're doing here. And I know the second one missed a part of about some type of rock or something.
Right, there was, the other bidder failed to submit a bid price on one of the pay items. I don't remember which one it was, and so that's why they're not listed. The other, he just mentioned that there were some irregularities in the bid and the fact that it was just a mathematical calculation. So it didn't change the ranking, and actually there was only one apparent low bidder, since the other bid was irregular and couldn't be accepted.
Okay.
Did it increase the price of the low bidder?
No,
His irregularities?
no.
So the other company was still higher.
Right. Well, actually, when you do the calculation, his bid price didn't change. It's just the calculation was. So I can't say, I don't believe that the other bidder would have been low since he didn't submit a bid price, and it would have been a substantial amount. The bids were close.
Bids were really close. I agree. I saw them. They were very close. So, Counselor, can you offer anything for us? Is there anything we need to be concerned about? Or
From what I read and I understood, the irregularity Mike is asking about, as he described, was an error or transposition of some of the mathematical numbers that didn't change the overall value of the bid, but changed the way it was added up, or the sequence that it may have been added up. So two things. One, it didn't materially change their bid, and two, they were the only bid to be considered since the other one was disqualified. Is that correct, Council?
Yes, that's correct.
all right, do you see any reason for us to disqualify this bid and start over?
No, sir, it was not a material
Us being
change.
legally in
It was
trouble.
not a material change, nor did it disadvantage any other bidder.
Okay, Mikey, you got anything else? All right, David, thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, any more discussion on this, awarding this bid to Moran Hauling? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Let everybody know that this is the grant.
Yeah. Motion carries. Let me get that out of the way. This is a MDOT grant that we've been working on for 4 years. We're finally getting to see the fruits of that labor. Will affect all of our railroad crossings, I think, with the exception of Girard, and I know Jeff Davis. But I'm not sure if Girard's on there or not. But all the rest of them will be attacked and taken care of, where we can get large trucks over, boats, trailers, pickups pulling boats and trailers and other things. So this is a good thing coming. So we're looking forward to seeing the construction begin on this. David, thank y'all for everything y'all have done. Thank Richie for pulling this through. So, all right, next we have an MOU for Mississippi Department of Marine Resources Eastern Bulkhead. David, this is pretty much a bookkeeping deal where I got to sign a document, if I'm understanding this correctly, or
I believe so.
I don't need to believe.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't have the MOU in front of me.
Russell Weatherly sent that directly to me.
Oh, it didn't go to you, it went, okay, because it's, to go Mesa, I thought it would come to you. So,
Yes, it is.
Kenny, let me ask you a question. Is this bookkeeping that we just, okay. This is standard bookkeeping. I read through it, but I just want to verify it to everybody else, so. All right, do I have a motion second to approve this?
Motion.
I got a motion, I just need a second.
In the MOU.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. And then we got a MOU amendment to Mississippi Department of Marine Resources for the southeastern bulkhead improvement.
This is just a time extension.
A time extension on the work. The work started, it's already ongoing, we just have to have a time extension on this. So motion second to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hear none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have an amend grant agreement. This is for the Mississippi Development Authority, MDA, the Quarles House. It's, we got to ask for this extension to June of 2025. And this is for unspent funds that we have that we're going to need to do some more stuff with this. So I'd ask for a motion and second to approve this extension.
Motion.
Second.
All right, we have any discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Angie. Amend grant agreement, Mississippi Development Authority for Development and Revitalization of Downtown. This is another extension that we need to request because we do still have unspent funds in this, and we have some projects we were working towards. So I'd ask to extend it to June 30th, 2025. I'd ask for a motion second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Angie. Any opposed? The motion carries. Next, we have a lease agreement, City Hall, Overstreet and Associates. This is just renewing a current lease we have that Overstreet and Associates leases out one office room here for conferences that we may
Motion.
have to have.
Second.
All right, thank you, Angie and Mikey. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have state aid agreement, Mississippi Library Commission. This is a life and health insurance. This is mainly a bookkeeping again.
Motion.
Second.
All right, this is where they will pay for
We get reimbursed for their.
reimbursed for those two, the life and health insurance. So you got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hear none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Angie. Motion carries. Next, we have banner placement request, Long Beach Chamber of Commerce, Taste of Long Beach. They're wanting to place a few banners on our poles before the coming event of October 26th of this year for our Taste of Long Beach. I need a motion and second to approve
Motion.
this.
Second.
I got a motion and a second to approval. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those, and right now, let me say this. In this, they're only asking for 6. If they get more banners, we're going to allow them to put more banners. So, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have Adopt City logo. This is something that has been brought to me. This is our current logo and our logo we've been using. The other one is the round one, if you can see it, and it's got the friendly city in it. Right up there. This is the one that we've been using for the last 8 years, or 7 years, excuse me, last 7 years. It's the Sailboats, Long Beach, Mississippi, and the only thing we propose to do is add under it the friendly city. And, I would like for y'all, I would entertain a motion that we change that to the Long Beach, Mississippi Sailboat logo with the friendly city up under it.
Motion.
You got a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion?
I would like to see city flags after we get this done. We need to put some city flags up, which we do not have. If you remember, we had that green one that needs to be thrown in the Gulf.
Yeah. Looks like it come from the Gulf. So you're undertaking the design of that?
I am.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. Any more discussion? We'll be sure and bring up the city flag at a later date. So maybe at the next meeting, you'll have everything.
You're covered.
All right. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Angie, I need you.
Oh, yes. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I had it on mute and I was talking.
Okay. Thank you. I was counting on you. We only had 3. All right. Motion carries. Courtney, you all right with that, what we done?
We're good.
Okay. All right. Next, Mr. Brown has on here Charleston Lane sidewalk. Discussion?
Yes, discussion. We have one area on Charleston Lane. Of course, we required all the residents to put sidewalks, building houses and everything. And we've got all of Old Savannah sidewalks, Charleston Lane, with the exception of one probably 100 foot. And it goes on the corner of Old Savannah and Charleston Lane. And the reason it's not sidewalked is the man on the corner of Old Savannah and Charleston Lane that's facing the east, and he has a sidewalk in front of his house, but not one on the side to connect them. I've had some requests from some residents up in there to look into it. Joe, I thought we had
Mike had provided a quote of
right,
$1,500.
okay, Joe told me $1,200 to $1,500. I would like to, see what the board's consensus is about taking some money out of what we do have left of our sidewalk funds and doing that.
Is that a motion?
That's my motion.
Okay, do we have a second to his motion? We got a second. Do we have any further discussion? And this will allow Public Works to
Yes.
to pull everything, David, to pull everything together. Let's
That'll
get
tie
it.
all that in together
Okay.
right there.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have number 12 is James Buddy Ray, status of ROW purchase on Klondike and Commission Road. Counselor, I think you sent something to us today.
Yes, sir. The complaint for the eminent domain of the property, the right-of-way in question, was filed in the special eminent domain court of Harrison County today. The judge has to sign a FIAT given a date specific, and I've spoken with counsel for Mr. Ray, Mr. Virgil Gillespie, who will accept process tomorrow, once the judge signs the order given the date. So it's filed. We're waiting on the court date tomorrow.
Okay. So,
That's the current status of it.
current status, and since we're into a legal situation with this, recommendation for the board doing any addressing, can you give us any guidance on that?
Well, I understand, and I saw Mr. Ray is present and filed a request to be on the agenda. I mean, he's advised now that it has been filed at least. I have spoken with his counsel. I know that he understands either this board or I can answer questions so much directly to him. We have to go through his lawyer, but if he has a statement or something to make, I'm sure the board will entertain him. I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Ray?
Lawsuit or claim, all I want to know is what y'all going to do, when you going to do it? Timeline. Okay, timeline is what I want to know.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Could you come to the microphone, Mr. Ray? Thank you.
Concerned about fair play, I couldn't hear you either.
We're in the same boat, brother.
It's on.
It's on.
Yes, sir. What was your question?
Is it on now?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I said, I do nothing about what, and I didn't hear what you said, but did you say you filed some papers?
Yes, sir.
When was that done?
The complaint has been filed and your lawyer has agreed to accept the service process, so we don't have to serve you individually. Mr. Gillespie, I've spoken with him. Tomorrow.
When was that? Please.
Tomorrow, the judge will assign a date for the case to go forward. I will tell you traditionally that date sometimes gets continued, but only the judge can set that date. There was not one there, a judge, today to sign that date, but I anticipate that'll happen tomorrow, and Mr. Gillespie will have a copy of the entire suit.
Okay, right. What is the city's timeline for actually addressing that entire section over there? I'm not talking about mine, but when are we going to get that done? And let me tell you why I'm asking that is that the excessive amount of time that was taken to get these papers filed was grossly unfair to us, and it paralyzed our business. Right now, we still don't know what's going to happen. And, you know, I think y'all have a position on it, and we have a position on it. And I think that's where it's going to be resolved. But in the meantime, the procrastination of this has been over 6 months. And I think at that time, when I was told it was of essence that we responded, and we did respond. But it's been over 7 months since we responded. So that has really been unfair to us. I think if you really want to be fair about it, we need to know a timeline that this is going to be done, because right now, we cannot do anything out there because it was the appraiser that y'all hired that said anything you do out there is not going to improve that property. You're not going to get paid for it. So we're not only is it an eyesore, but which Mr. McGooey had some other people to complain about it, and we had to spend about $10,000 out there. that was just up in the wind, but it's because of that. So we've got the same thing going on. We want to, and we gave y'all last year what we intended to do with that site. And we still, at this point, we don't know anything from the city other than the fact that you're going to take it. But the question is when? And what's the timeline?
The court calendar and the litigation that is now initiated will control the timing of it. The city does not have exclusive control over it any more than you and your lawyer have control over it. Both of us will work presumably together along with the court
So there's
to try
no
to move it along as expeditiously as possible. But we being you and I and the other people affected, are in court, and it will move along now.
Okay, so what you're saying then is that the last 6 or 8 months is just forget about that. We're going to have to worry about from now forward. Is that correct?
Your
Is that what
question,
you're
what
saying?
was the timeline going forward? I tried to answer.
Okay, well, all right, then the next question is, a part of that timeline, when do y'all foresee that project getting started?
That will depend upon when the litigation is completed, Mr. Ray. Clearly, nothing can happen.
So in other words, the other three, unless this one is resolved, then the other three are going to be holding the base, although y'all have already settled with those people. Is that correct?
Nothing can go forward until the city has clear title to the property. I know you understand that.
Well, they got three pieces of it, right? And they can take my property. All they got to do is put the money up and they can take it. Isn't that right?
No, sir, that's not necessarily true.
That's pretty close to right.
Okay, well, I suggest you
explain
confer
it
with
to
your
me.
lawyer, Mr. Ray.
Explain it to me then. How?
I can't give you legal advice. I suggest you confer with your lawyer.
No.
He'll help you. He'll answer those questions for you.
All right. Well, this is the second time, Mr. Simpson, that I've come before this board to discuss about this, and you've cut it off from a legal point of view. I am a citizen here, and we pay taxes. Just for your information, that's a car wash right over the street here. It's been there September the 5th. It will have been there 29 years, and we've owned it for every single day of that. And every time I'm coming here trying to get something done, this is the runaround I get. So, you know, when I walk over here, I've got absolutely nothing that I have asked for. You know, you can tell me that, hey, we've got the Department of Transportation, we're going to do it within the next year, the next 10 years, next whatever it might be. And this mine doesn't have anything to do with that.
Well,
Mr. Ray, if I may, Mr. Ray, you've hired a lawyer. You are represented.
And I came here, and I talk about an attorney. I talked about when this is going to happen.
Let me finish, please.
Pardon?
Let me finish, please, before you interrupt me. You have hired a lawyer. And as a matter of law, which you choose to just not recognize, ethically, neither these board members nor I can discuss these things with you without the presence of your lawyer. I have told you that in the past.
And I'm trying to tell you,
again.
I'm trying to tell you, this has nothing to do about the lawsuit.
And
It
I'm
has
trying to
about
tell you I'm not
when
gonna
we will
discuss
be
it
able
without
to
you.
use our property. Y'all have had it tied up now for over 3 years.
Buddy, we can't discuss any of this. We've under the advice of our attorney. This is in a legal matter. I would love to tell you that we're going to start next week, but we're not going to. We're not going to answer any of your questions. Brad, you may want to step up because we may have to have you removed if you don't listen to us. We've got business to conduct. We cannot answer any of your questions. Our attorney just advised you why we can't. I would love to see this project started a year ago. We started one that we started working on 4 years ago. You heard us just announce that we awarded a bid on it. This may be another 3 years. God, I hope not, because this is something that's severely needed from all directions at Commission and Klondike. Go there in the morning when school's in. Go there in the afternoon when school's out. It's terrible. It's terrible. We're ready to move forward. I can't answer any of your questions. Our attorney can answer your questions. So we're going to move on. Thank you, Mr. Ray.
If a non-involved party, a third party, ask a timeline on it, would y'all be able to?
The answer would be the same.
We
The
can't.
court controls the timeline, not us. The city doesn't control the timeline. We are in court because we could not reach an agreement. Therefore, we had to go to court to have the court decide.
And I guess part of it, we may be told wrong, but that
we're understand that y'all can put 80% of the money up that you offered, and tomorrow we can see y'all tearing it up.
No,
That
sir,
y'all
that
can
is,
come and
that
just
is not
start-
accurate, but your lawyer can answer that. He can clear that up for you. I can't give you legal advice. You paying a lawyer to tell you the answer to that question. Utilize him. He's a good lawyer.
We're just looking for a time frame. So you said,
But I gave you
and now it's
the
up to
letter
the board.
That's
to
correct.
cancel the contract.
Okay.
And
let's
y'all
see if I
only
can
got your
find
land
it.
for 7 months, there's no, you don't have a reason for that.
I'll explain it if you
Okay.
want me to.
Moving on to number 13. This is the one that we had added in the amendment, and this is, am I on the right one?
Yeah, this will be number 13. Mhm.
Okay. Let me make sure I got the right one here before I start reading it off. This is to the railroad crossing grade improvements from Mr. Steve Tweed. And Keeney, if you want to explain what we're having to do here.
Sure. So the city is already in a contract with Neil Schaefer for the construction, engineering, and inspection of this project. David Seifert notified me yesterday that there is an error in the contract of working days, and MDOT requires us to cancel the current contract that we have with them via this letter before we can initiate into a corrected contract.
Yeah, and this was another one, had a typo. It should have been 130 days, if I remember correctly, and it was listed at 103 days.
Right.
So we have to enter into this new contract. Do we have to do anything, Keeney or Steve? Do we have to do anything to cancel the old one and do this one, or just?
Well, this was to terminate this contract. I don't know if they want us to re-enter a new one.
We're in the process. They've got a new contract to review, but they require something from us to Neil Schaefer to terminate the contract.
We've terminated.
So this is just to terminate this one, then a new one, I assume, will
Okay.
be brought back before the board.
Very shortly,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, all right, I thought we had it already, I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, need motion.
Motion.
Second.
I got a motion and a second to rescind this contract. Have any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is number 14.
We're going to add that into the budget amendment down here under city clerk.
Okay, well, 14 will go under personnel, city clerk.
Okay.
Okay, as letter C.
Just a continuation of A, because we've already got budget
Oh,
amendments on there.
continuation of A. Okay, just remind me when we get to it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, department business. I've got several things, just a few things. I've been talking to Mr. Brown and a couple other aldermen, and I've spoken to our council today, Steve Simpson, about the harbor and the inner wall down there. As y'all know, we're in arbitration with FEMA, represented through with Wendy Huff Allard, and we will have a hearing on October the 10th and possibly the 11th if required. We should get a final notification at the end of in about a second week or third week of November, where we can move forward with issuing those bids that we've already taken for other things in there. I would like to ask the board to consider the inner wall at the harbor, to go ahead and have David, are you ready to move forward with a advertisement for the inner wall if we get approval tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'd like to ask the board to consider going ahead and moving forward, and I had asked you something about that, and you gave me a little extra.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. The funds for that project are anticipated, or at least a portion of them, to be from the ultimate award that the city receives from the arbitration award. Because of that, I recommended that the advertisement advertise for the project subject to the availability of funds. In other words, if for some reason the funds don't come forward from our arbitration proceeding, we are not required to enter into a contract with the highest or the lowest bidder, for example. So the bids are being submitted subject to the availability of the funds for the city to go forward with the project is all. Just to add that language.
And the reason I would like to do that is anything we get for piers cannot be done until we get that inner wall constructed, because everything is connected there, water, sewer, electricity, everything is connected at that point to that interior wall. And so we need to go ahead and see if we could stay in front of everything that we're hopefully getting. And if they come back, and we've requested, I think it was 643 feet or something like that of interior wall. If they come back and say they're gonna give us 450, I think it's gonna be incumbent upon the board at that time to see if we do a small bond to get the rest of it, if we seek other funding from other sources, whatever the case may be, that we get it all done at one time. So I'm asking for a motion and a second to consider us bidding it under those situations and constraints.
So you want a motion contingent upon anticipated funds?
Right.
And I'll second with more discussion.
Okay?
So your inner wall, just to clarify this with you, David, the inner wall, I know we're talking about the inner wall of the harbor, but as we go do the southern quay also, because that's considered inner wall, yes or no, or is that a separate contract?
The Southern Quay is a separate contract that,
We're talking just the inner wall right now. I got you.
Just the wall.
And for everybody that doesn't know, that's the east inner wall of the harbor. Not the east side of the harbor, but the east inner wall.
right.
It's on the west side of the drive, but the east side of the
Got
harbor.
it. We'll really
Inner
confuse
harbor.
you if you need us to.
Yeah.
The harbor master sits on it.
Should, can I ask, real quickly, should that bid be scheduled to be received mid-October so that the bid will be fresh right then when we're expecting this arbitration
I think
issue?
if bid to the second or third week of October.
Yeah.
Okay,
Second, third, I mean, if we go to the end, I think we're still well ahead of the game.
okay,
And we're within 2 to 2.5 weeks of getting final arbitration.
can do.
So, Patrick, did you say Donald had something?
He's got something.
Yeah,
Donald made the motion, and we've got a second.
he said he'll amend it to say just the eastern wall specifically.
All right, he amended his motion to just the eastern as you defined it.
Eastern
And your
of the-
second's amended.
Right.
Do we have any further discussion? Hear none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, I have I'm going to move one to the end under city attorney, because we're going to have a executive session for leases. So I'll move one of mine to that end, so we'll do it there. Next, down at the harbor, another thing that we've got to deal with is we've got electrical and water pods that were out for each slip down there, and they have been in storage for almost 4 years now. Getting parts for them, getting new bases is not possible. So we had at the time that this happened, we purchased a trailer to put all these in so we wouldn't have to put storage on them, anticipating that we'd get a proper and prompt response from FEMA to be able to rebuild our harbor. We didn't know that they had one gentleman in Atlanta that was shutting this down because he was blaming all the damages on Hurricane Nate, that we had completed worksheets, completed, filled out, and in their possession and ready to look at. So these items that we had anticipated being able to reuse are now outdated. I would like to have a motion second to allow us to take those as surplus property. There's no value but to try to sell them. They are basically scrap metal. And I would like for us to allow Public Works to use them the next time they do a scrap metal sale. So I would consider a motion and second for approval of that. That will also allow us to empty that new trailer out to be able to use in the event that we do have something to move whatever we got down there at the harbor out.
So do we have, in our funds for our harbor, do we have new electrical boxes and all that in there?
That would be in the,
I don't know, if we specifically put those, but that will be considered a large project.
Okay.
If we're able to prove that we can't get parts for these, then yes, that will qualify.
So we can prove right now we can't get parts before we surplus.
We maybe should hold on to a couple of them, just to.
we can certainly, you got to understand all the bases are gone. Almost, about 90% of them are gone, the bases that these hook to. You've got wiring, you've got connections in the bottom there that have corroded if you've got any of the bases left. The only good thing we have is the heads that snap in and screw back in, that would be good. I have no problem with us leaving the storage. They hadn't bothered us. We could leave them there till we get through and FEMA gets through with arbitration, and we get this completed, then we'll empty the trailer. I don't have a problem with that.
Because
I'm
we
just
don't
letting y'all know.
have but a few months, we hope.
Right, yeah, we're hoping that by
You
the
okay
second,
with that,
third.
David? Leaving them in your trailer?
Leaving them in the trailer?
Yeah.
Until we get settled?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
don't think that's, the ones we got in the trailer, I think we have more out there.
We do have a storage.
That's what we're trying to find out.
They're all in the trailer.
I'm not sure how many's in that trailer.
We had at the time, if y'all recall, we were discussing we had two separate electrical companies that had the bid to take half of them off. Each one of them had half of them, and then they were going to charge us a certain price for storage, and the board decided to buy a trailer to put them all in, so we wouldn't have a storage fee. So they're all in there. As far as we could look back and find that they're in that trailer, all of them that were removed.
Donald suggested getting like a letter from a electrician saying,
Pardon me?
Donald suggested getting a letter from an electrician saying they're not serviceable.
Well, we could do that. I'll withdraw asking for that motion, and let's leave this till we get settled.
Yeah.
And then if that time, when we get settled with FEMA, if they feel like we're gonna have to try to use these, we could take and get those letters from an electrician at that time.
Safe thing to do.
Okay, all right. Next, I have something coming up in September. I'll be participating in a children's cancer event, and they wanted all the board to participate. And I said, I will take the bullet for the board. They're doing a fundraiser, and I'm going to be announcing, I'll be sending this out to citizens, to business, to everybody, where they can donate. And y'all with the good hair and everything, y'all remember, I'm doing this for y'all. I'm going to let those children shave my head as a fundraiser for them. And I'm also going to reach out to the other mayors in Harrison County and sacrifice myself to them too, that I'll allow them to shave my head instead of them having to lose theirs. What little I have will grow back, and I'm not concerned about that, but what I am worried and wanting, Donald said he'd participate with no problem. He has no problem with that. But I told him you got to have a little hair to start with before they would take it. But I just wanted y'all to be aware this is coming up. I think it's September the 23rd, if I remember. 21st, thank you. It'll be a Saturday. It'll be at, I think it's the Barksdale Pavilion at the Harbor in Gulfport. And y'all understand I'm going to be asking y'all to go to the site and ask for a donation so you don't have to have your heads shaved. And I'm going to be reaching out, like I said, to the community. I'm going to reach out to the other cities and mayors and ask them to reach out to their communities too. This is a great cause. I don't know, and I hope I would have done this prior to last spring and summer when I experienced cancer. And I think it's well worth it for those children, whatever we could do. So I just want y'all to be aware of that. Thank y'all. All right, moving forward, the police department, one resignation and one leave of absence. Motion is second.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next, we have budget amendment, FY24, Public Works to Police Department and Recreation. A motion is second.
Hold on just a second. This is where we're going to add in the one for the fire department as well.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about
Budget
that.
amendment with the fire department, make a motion.
All right. A motion that includes those four
Plus the fire
departments. That would be Public Works, Police, Recreation, and Fire Department. Okay, got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next, we have a work session scheduled for August 13th, 2024. This is for budget. We have at the last meeting come up where our expenses are under our revenues. At this time, I would ask that you consider if we should have another work session or if we want to move forward to the public hearing.
I think we need to move forward to the public hearing since we are the best we've been in 50 years as far as money-wise, because we are under, for the first time in I don't know how long, we have not had to touch
7
a
years ago.
rainy day fund, but before that, we were still on bonds and everything.
Oh, yeah,
And
we
we're
were in bonds,
bond-free
yeah,
right
bonds,
now
we're
and
bond-free,
everything,
and-
so,
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, what we start out with, $500,000 deficit
this year.
this year, and that was,
Agreed.
and people have to understand, this is our first blush effort from our department heads giving this to us, and it allows us time to work on those things and bring this within reason, and we did. We're about $50,000 expense below revenue, so Mikey's presented a motion. I have a second on that motion.
Second.
To have any more discussion on that motion, second. Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Angie, do you approve that?
Like it'll be on the 13th?
So now we're taking it off. We're not gonna have that work session.
We're not gonna have the work session.
Correct.
Is the public hearing gonna replace it, is my question.
No, the public hearing's at a normal meeting.
It's already set. All right, thank you, Angie.
Do you know exactly?
Are we having another public hearing? I mean, not a public hearing. Are we having another, budget work session?
Work session, no, that was the last one we had set. Was for,
I'd like to have one more work session.
okay? Let us get, you gonna make an amended motion to set a date? You wanna, or do you wanna have it, you still wanna have it next Tuesday?
I don't think she heard.
Right. So the motion and second was to not have another work session, to go to the public hearing that was, it's scheduled for the 3rd of September. And you're saying you want to have another budget work hearing on the 13th, as set. Is that, am I understanding right, Angie? I'm having a hard time. Okay. So we've currently got a motion and second not to have it, so you'll have to do a substitute motion to have it.
And to have a work session next week.
You want to continue with the August 13th work session, which would be next Tuesday. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
I mean, I'll second that for her. if
All
she
right, we've
feels
got
like
a
we need to
motion and
have
a
it.
second. Do we have any further discussion to continue with that work session? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Moving on, we'll have a work session next week on the 13th. All right, fire department, Chief, you have anything?
No, sir.
Good deal. Police department, we have a rental agreement, Centos janitorial supply rental.
Motion.
We got a motion, do we have a second?
Hello?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye. Peach, aye, down there?
Yeah, I was giving Patrick a chance.
I got one eye, you got any more?
Aye.
Aye.
Angie, I need you. All right.
I'm sorry, I had people talking at me, they're all leaving for the birthday. Can we repeat that? I am very sorry that I did not hear this.
All right, this was a motion and a second. Bernie, ayed? Okay, never mind, Bernie, ayed. It was a motion and a second to approve Centos janitorial supply rental for the police department.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, all right, all right, listen up. Contract for Matrix Solutions, body worn cameras, I need motion second to approve this.
Motion.
Second.
Second. This is pulled from this year's budget. We're going to do this year's budget, and it comes from a budget amendment that we just approved from your employment, right?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
And the next one's the same.
And the next one's going to be the same way.
All right, we got a motion and a second. I did get a second, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
I got three.
You got Donald and
Oh, Donald, I got Donald? Okay, I didn't hear Pete.
About 2 minutes.
Yeah. Never again, never again,
You about 2 minutes behind.
never again.
All right.
Next, we have a contract, Axon Enterprises for tasers, a motion second for approval.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Thank y'all. Next, we have engineering. We have Cucks Road realignment and dedication offer, and this is coming in where they have removed the old Cucks Road, moved it slightly to the north. We have 800 foot of it. A motion and second to accept based on our city engineer's recommendation and his prior inspection of the construction and the construction specifics.
Second.
Discussion.
Discussion. So you don't see any negative impact by accepting this? No, we're not taking on anything that's going to be problems in the future?
I don't, no, sir, I don't believe so. I mean, it was constructed according to our standards. It was inspected by Covington. We participated in a final proof roll inspection, and everything appeared appropriate.
All right.
Thank you.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next, we have 123 West Third Street drainage. Motion and second for discussion.
Motion. Discussion. Second.
All right, discussion. Go ahead, Mike Brown.
I was under the impression that we were looking to use H2O to do something a little bit less expensive.
What we had asked them to do was to investigate that box. It's in the middle of somebody's yard where somebody has done an illegal tap and run all this piping underground, cut catty corner across 123 West Third's backyard. We met over there with the owners. They were wanting to do an addition on the back of their house, but it would not encroach upon this pipe. We advised them that we couldn't come on their property and remove that pipe because we didn't put it there, but there was another drainage box to the east, to the southeast of their property. And these are some future drainage. This is all private property. I think that, you know, the people, we advised them they could cut the pipe off at their property line and clog the other pipe up and not let anything, and they could take all the pipe out of their yards, out of their yard. That would in turn cause the drainage on this particular piece of property where the other central box is located to back up, and that will become the landowner's problem. Am I correct, David, Joe? Am I saying that correctly?
I think
If I'm not, correct me.
certainly if you remove the pipe, it would then begin to flood on the 127 property, or 127 West Third
West
Street.
Third.
As far as whose problem that would be, I'm not sure that I understand. I don't know how to answer that.
I don't know.
The issue is that this pipe didn't, if the city would have ran this pipe through there, that's one thing, but I think we all kind of in agreement that a private individual at some point illegally tapped and ran a pipe. And it's kind of, at this point, a civil issue between the two neighbors.
I would agree with you. I couldn't agree more is what I was going to say. We have looked, we had no drainage modification plan that had been issued through the building department or through the public works. We feel like this is just a pipe that was run by some homeowners there. They may have had a private agreement at the time, but that time has passed. We got different owners, I think, on both sides of this property. I don't know that we can legally go in and do anything. If the homeowner with the single box unimproved property, which is basically right in the middle of the property, wanted to pay for the pipe to get it to where we want it to drain currently based on the information we have from David, that would be at their cost. They would have to work with through our building office, public works, and our engineer to make sure that there's a proper drainage going to that box that we could possibly supply into our drainage. I think I would like to request that we look at this a little further and a little deeper, do some more research, check with the landowner of the land. They may be perfectly fine with removing that box out of their property and bringing in fill and causing their rainwater to go off into the street and into our drain. I don't know. But I think that right now, I would like the board to take some action through a motion and second that we move forward with letting our building department, our public works, and our engineer work to see if they could find a solution with the current landowner where the central box is located and everything was run out of it to somewhere else. Did I get that in the motion in a second?
Motion.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All right, do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
She
carries.
wants to speak.
Huh? Angie, did you say yes or no?
No.
You vo- All right, go ahead.
No, Mayor.
All right, hold on, Angie.
I'm the landowner at 123 West 3rd Street, and this has been a problem for a while, from what I understand, and the engineers have been out there, and they told me that the city lost all the paperwork for Katrina as far as the drainage goes, and they're going to have to rework all the drainage and everything. And this drain is limiting me, and I can't do anything with my property until this has been decided. It's not legal, it doesn't belong there, and I would like to cut it and just move on with this. I'd have to have the pipe removed, from what I understand, because you can't build on top of it, but it doesn't belong there, and it shouldn't be my problem. It shouldn't be.
Ms. Logan, I know we played phone tag like
I know,
all
I'm
day
sorry
today.
about
I know
that.
you called me like 3 times, I called you like 3.
I know
but-
you did.
So I think the issue is that the city didn't put the pipe in, and I think we're all under that it wouldn't even be legal for us to go on your property and just to give you the numbers, for us to move that box and what it would require would estimate at $123,000 just in material and labor. That's without engineering and that's, if you want to, that's without engineering or design or anything, right?
That's correct. That's just our estimate of the construction cost.
Material and label would be $123,000, and then it comes to the issue of, not just you would have to agree. Now you're talking about your neighbor would have to agree and give easements, and we just can't go on private property.
And Patrick, let me say this. I met out there with them. I met with you and your husband.
Yes.
We offered some solutions if we could go across the back of your property, but we'd have to come to the board and get their approval to continue this. We talked about at that time that was an illegal drainage that had been put in there. I don't know how you would have found out about it when you brought the property, but that's not we didn't sell you the property, so that's not ours to deal with. I did tell you that as a homeowner, you had a right to cut that pipe and remove it out. And y'all said, well, our building's not going to go back that far. We're not going to go that far to hit the pipe on our addition. And I said, well, it would be up to you if you want to go ahead and move forward. Now, we do have minute books that we had restored after Katrina that goes back almost 19 years. This Saturday, it will be 119 years. And in those minute books, there's nothing in there to where the mayor and board approved a drainage modification over there. So we feel comfortable with the fact that we didn't run that across there.
No.
First of all, we wouldn't have run it catty-cornered across somebody's property. We would have went to property lines with proper approval to be able to do that. So right now, I think the situation is that we're going to allow our building officer, official, our public works director, and our city engineer to see if they could work with the other homeowner to come up with another solution. But until that time, there's really nothing we could do. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do anything. And we explained to you over there that day when we met, Mike Glass, the assistant public works director, was there. And Joe, Joe was there too, and I think they both at that time said that you could cut the pipe and remove it out of your yard, but we couldn't do that. So right now, do I have a motion and a second on for us to do anything?
No, but I'll make a motion, we table it until they meet with them.
So you're going to make a substitute motion to table it until they meet till they meet and get this figured out. We have a substitute second?
Second.
All right, we have any further discussion? Hear none. All those in favor, aye? Aye.
there's one thing that I need to get in order to do
Hold on a second, I'm
anything.
waiting to close out this motion a second. I've
Okay.
only got 3 votes. Did I get 4? Okay, thank you, Angie. Now, go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry, I didn't.
I know, I would need to, in order to go ahead with anything, I would need to get a drain modification permit from the building department.
If you're going to do any drainage that's going to come into any of our boxes, yes, you'll have to meet with, come to the building office first, and then they will work through with the Public Works to approve or disapprove any drainage modification. And we try to work with every individual to make sure that we get it right, that we don't have a problem like you're associated with now.
Right.
You know, and I hate it's happened, but we got to go through the right procedures to make sure that when we do it, we've got a right, proper drainage modification plan. So,
I'm fine with that, I just need to move on, one way or the other, I need to be
yeah,
told with
well,
my property
we,
rights.
and I will say this, I was under the impression the day that we left that y'all were prepared to go ahead and move, that y'all wouldn't be building over the top of this pipe.
No,
It would be
it's
short
in the
of it,
middle of the
it'd be to the
property.
north of it, and you would be able to address that after we could figure something else.
No.
But, you know, you're certainly welcome to do what you want on your property with that ditch, you know, to get with them and see what you need to figure out. Thank you.
If they contact me soon, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, moving forward, engineering, we're back on project closeout for 2022 sanitary sewer rehabilitation, and motion and second for approval.
Motion.
Motion.
I have a motion, I need a second.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, all's in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next, we have North Allen View Avenue paving option. Got a motion and second here. I need a motion second for discussion.
Motion. Second discussion.
Okay, thank you, Mikey.
So David, I see that we have 2 options. What does the road from, I guess, Miranda to Latil or Joan look like? I mean, you're saying you're giving us 2 options to asphalt, you know, this part, or go farther and asphalt this part for double the cost. Does it need it?
It's not in the best shape. It's not nearly as bad as the northern part. I think our main thought was that we came up to that south of Miranda.
Okay. So
about a year ago, just trying to.
My thing is, it probably would be on the paving projects in the near future.
Okay.
So, with that said, we have the money out of our asphalt roads and bridges. I'd like to make a motion that we do the
49,000?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say this, the very north end there.
Option 2.
The first option of 21,000 absolutely has to have it.
I know that. I know
And then
that.
the other part is so close right now that it won't be but a year would be as bad as the other one probably. So you got a
I'd like to make a
motion?
motion, we do option 2, which is 49,000, and it goes from right south of Miranda to the end.
Second with discussion.
Discussion.
When do we foresee getting a second check for the next check for the roads and bridges?
We usually get it in July. I'll have to look and see if it's been deposited.
got it, but.
And there's another one coming January.
Yeah, January and July is when they
I think we got
usually
it
hit.
a little more than what we were anticipating.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I got.
All right, any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank y'all. Option 2, yes. Motion carries. Critical drainage project, Magnolia and Dearman easement. Motion and second, discussion and approval.
I'll make a motion, or second.
You got a motion and a second. All right, this is to add $9,000 because we're going to have to, the homeowners, I think, have agreed for us to have a right-of-way entry, I guess.
That's correct. We've been in
ROW.
touch with really the 4 impacted property owners we would need a permanent easement from to build this project, and then it would be covered by a city easement. And they've indicated their willingness to work with us on granting those easements, but we have to create all the legal
Got to create,
descriptions.
and it's $9,000 survey.
Right.
Will the process be, we will survey showed, like, then we negotiate with them after we showed the surveys?
So far, the discussion has been if we give an easement document to them, that they will execute it because of the benefits that they're gonna get from this
I
project.
have talked to one that has, like, some hesitations. So
Okay.
that's why I was wondering, and their thing is,
Has hesitations.
they just want to, before, they want to see the survey.
Sure.
First, so.
And we can't, and understand, board, that we can't move it forward in any way with the other three that may agree or four,
Right.
whatever they are, until we do get this survey.
And I agree with you that everybody they all agree with the,
So it's up to you to be convincing.
yeah, so, all right.
All right. Any more discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, did Don want any of them do? So we're gonna have to table this to next time for lack of, I've only got three votes. And the others have disappeared.
Angie, you there?
I think we had a sunflower. Pardon me? All right, I entertain, well, I can't even pass that.
Lost our quorum, no.
We
She's
lost.
not responding.
You're right, we don't have a quorum at this point.
Hang on,
What'd I do?
there goes my phone.
Bernie?
Agree?
All right, well, that's our fourth vote. Motion carries. Next, Public Works, tell me you don't have anything.
I don't have anything, Mayor.
Bob, Recreation?
I'll get a list of equipment to upgrade the other parks, and I'll have a list for you next meeting.
Thank you, sir. Mike, Building Office?
We're good. Bob, you got the Century stuff?
Municipal Court, do you have anything? Harbor, Harry, Community Affairs. Courtney, you have something, I think, that we had talked about.
Yes,
About
I
earlier.
gave
Put her
everyone
on
a
mute.
flyer of a proposed sign that the Audubon would like to put at the harbor. It is a 18-inch by 24-inch sign. We just need board approval, and they already have them, and they'll be willing to either give it to us to put up, or they'll put it up.
My only question here is, this is for beachfront, or the beach. That is regulated by Harrison County, am I correct?
Say that again?
This
says National Park.
right.
It just says it's bird-friendly boating, so it's just giving people fun facts while they're on the boat. That way they're not hindering the nesting
Has nothing to
birds.
do with the harbor itself.
It'll be in the harbor. It
It's
won't be
in the
on beach.
harbor so that when people are boating, they know these facts.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I was just on it says no littering on the islands.
That's if they head to, they sent this to all cities. If you don't want it, we don't have to put it. I just.
These are the rules for national parks.
Yeah, I'm just.
They
I
have them
wanna
at the
clarify
parks,
thing
but they
because
are trying to
I did-
cover all the bases.
I didn't want it to be on the sand beach because as usual, during the 4th of July, that's when it gets crazy on the sand beach with fireworks, and that says no fireworks. That's what I
Yeah,
was going
there's
with.
currently 2 poles when you enter the harbor that have already signs on them, so I was just thinking about just tacking it on at the bottom of it. There's one right when you are about to turn onto the ramp that says, like, prepare your boat here, if that would be okay, or putting a whole new pole.
You need a motion? I need I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, let's include in this motion before we move too far along that when we start construction, if we need to move the signs or replace them or make them match the signs that we end up with
Back
down
up.
there. Is that in your motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was in the second.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Thank God we don't have any derelict, well, we do have a derelict property.
We've got that taken care of.
Y'all hear? Yes?
All right, you've got, we had a derelict property at Fourth
had-
Street, and that's been taken care of, so as bad as I hate to, you say it's done?
Yeah, well, it will be.
All right, so as bad as I hate to, I need a motion and a second to take this off of the agenda, to table this in case we need to
Motion.
bring.
Second.
Got a
Well, I
motion?
mean,
Yes. Mr.
That was sent to them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna take it off, and if we need to, we'll put it back on next time, if something else comes up. Got a motion second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye. It'll be 1 minute. You got to count six. There it is.
Thank you. All right,
Bernie's about a minute behind.
yeah. On our, report from the city attorney, I need to ask the city attorney to take us into executive session. I've got a lease that I think you have a lease and I have a lease that we need to discuss.
Yes, sir.
So,
Who we bring with us?
I need at least one of y'all that's on the phone.
My phone died, so Donald's out.
Donald's out. All right, I need a motion second to go in executive session. One of y'all's got to stay with us.
Motion to go in.
Second.
We got a motion second. All those in favor, and this is discuss possible lease litigation. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Just say aye, Angie. All right, we got a vote. Let's go in executive session. Thank y'all.
Tomorrow I'll get with Paola.
Action taken. I got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I got a second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion that we go into negotiations to lease the Quarles property next to the Quarles house and authorize whoever to do the,
Overstreet, yeah, thank you.
Overstreet to do the
Survey.
survey, whatever we need to do.
As quick as possible, David.
All right, can I catch up
Or
with you
after
tomorrow?
dark tonight, that would be good.
I'll second his motion.
With a headlight.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to grant the board attorney the ability to send a letter to Secretary of State for lease for the Gateway Project.
Second.
Any discussion? Here none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
He seconded.
Second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Hey, Bernie, see you later.
Bye, Angie.